we have an interesting fella, okay? He's a former United States congressman out of Florida. His name is Trey Radel. He's host of the Trey Radel Show. This guy is an author, actor, journalist, radio and TV show host, and a former member of the US Congress. He has books that include Democracy, meaning crazy, a true story of weird politics, money madness, and finger food, described by Huffington Post as a brutally honest, outrageous memoir, which exposes how Washington's sausage gets made. He's actually a pretty good guy. His politics are completely jacked up, but we'll talk about his politics on this show. Former Congressman, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing really well. It's great to be with you. We may radically disagree on some things, but I really enjoy watching you. I've watched many of your interviews, a lot of your political assessing out of Atlanta and more, and it's a pleasure to be with you tonight.
Listen, I appreciate that. Flattery will get you everywhere. All right, so let me ask you a question, man, because I'm reading your tweets, right? And I'm saying, okay, this guy almost sounds like an anti-masker. Are you an anti-mask guy?
No, I mask up everywhere.
Okay,
absolutely mask up. So the way I look, first of all, I think that masks have become this absolutely stupid object that people are like, if you wear a mask, you must be a damn communist liberal Democrat. If you don't wear a mask, you're a white supremacist Republican who wants to murder everybody. And the reality is I just think that people can make those choices, that we don't need the government to step into our lives and tell us that mandating that we should be wearing a mask, most especially given the science and data that we've seen after this past year. Governor Ron DeSantis, well, I'll never understand why liberals call him, this Trump humping, MAGA hat wearing idiot moron. Yet Democrats in this state were clamoring, please give us more executive orders, please force us to wear masks. The science has shown, the data has shown that mandates on masks or even complete lockdowns really didn't differentiate in terms of COVID and the exposures, the number of deaths, or the infrastructure of the hospitals. I mask up everywhere. I'm going
okay. So let me ask you this, man. All right, Trey. So first of all, let me go on record and say you are the first white guy that I've ever known named Trey. So you get a few points for that. All right. Let's go to the mask mandate. I got some other things I want to dig into, but let me first start with the actual government mandate, because it seems as if many of you guys have a problem with the government saying, listen, you are mandated by executive order or whatever else to wear a mask. And let me tell you the beef I have with guys like you who are anti-government saying wear a mask, okay? Do you drive, Trey?
I do.
Do you wear a seatbelt?
Sometimes speed limit.
Right, but do you wear a seatbelt?
I do.
Okay. Would you advocate for people not to wear a seatbelt?
No, I'd say wear your seatbelt.
Right, and are you okay with the government enforcing wearing seatbelts because they actually do save lives?
So that's where I think you get into a difficult question, which is just
that's a simple question, Trey.
But hear me out. Look, I think that there's a broader picture to what you're talking about. And it's this: when you look at seatbelts and the way that they were mandated, you could make an argument that, well, people started to get educated and started wearing seatbelts and did not need the federal government or state governments to tell them to do so. You know what? Another great example of that is, are smoking laws. Here in Florida, we had actually a constitutional amendment that said that banned smoking in any public place whatsoever, I don't know, roughly 10 years ago. But at that time, you already saw a massive trend among restaurants, businesses, and everywhere saying, stop it anyway. We're not gonna have this. So the question is about the government. And I'm not anti-government. I believe the government can play a wonderful role in the infrastructure and fabric of our society. But damn it, what I don't understand, to kind of flip this for a second, about liberals today, and I'm sorry to overgeneralize, is that when you look at the hippie movement of the 1960s, the Black Panther movement, the hip hop, conscious hip hop of the late 80s, Fight the Power by Public Enemy, and you look at Rage Against the Machine, the common thread among all of them, among pop culture and political movements on the left, was that, you know what? The government is pretty damn corrupt, and we need to find ways to separate ourselves from it and damn it, do something about it.
All right,
but
so
today,
Trey, listen,
sorry,
brother, you're getting into the weeds and you're starting to bloviate. So let me bring you back to the conversation. This was real simple, man, straight up, all right? Because you got a lot of common sense, man. I've looked at some of your tweets, at least half of them make sense. And I've noticed that you are on the fence as it relates to some of this ideology. You're not all the way to the right on everything, but this is real simple. The science does show that wearing a mask will in fact decrease your chances of spreading COVID-19, and it decreases your chances of getting COVID-19. That is a good thing. Nobody argues on the science of that. You're saying the government should not be in the place to mandate because everybody should self-regulate and people should basically do it at their will, at their leisure. Well, let's go ahead and apply your logic everywhere else, because Trey, I want you to have intellectual integrity. That means that everybody needs to self-regulate as it relates to wearing a seatbelt. That means everybody needs to self-regulate as it relates to driving over the speed limit. That means that everyone, for every rule that may actually hurt somebody else or themselves, they need to be in the game of self-regulation. And here's the other point, Trey. I find it quite hypocritical that you guys will say that somehow wearing a mask is government intrusion, but you don't find it government intrusion for the government to tell a woman what to do with her body. Does that make sense to you?
My man, abortion's gonna be a whole nother 5 hours.
That's fine, but let's talk about it. Let's compare it. If you think you putting on a mask, Trey, is government intrusion, but you don't think the government telling a woman what she can or cannot do with her body isn't government intrusion. Those things don't match. Either the government needs to be involved in our lives in that way, or they do not. Which one is it for you?
Where does life begin? I mean,
let's break that down. So you want to go there?
These are.
Where do you? Okay, no. You asked the question, Trey. Look. Where do you think life begins?
At conception.
Why?
Because the child is conceived. Are we really into abortion now?
We got to be. Yeah, I mean, you kind of went down the rabbit hole.
I don't look regarding masks and abortion. Okay. I don't. We could if you really want to go there, we can. Here's where I'm at. The science, when you keep saying that the science shows, there was just a study I was reading today out of Germany that is showing that even with the mandate of masks, or if you look at California or New York, the mandated masks really haven't done a freaking thing. So I think that people can make that choice for themselves. When we talk about seatbelts.
So why do you still wear your mask, Trey? If you think that masks do not do a freaking thing, why do you still wear yours?
So look, again, while I do believe that I'm a rational person here, when I look
because you believe the mask does do something. So stop saying something you don't believe.
No. I'm just citing. All I'm doing is citing one article that I just
cited some bull.
Right out of Germany.
You cited some bull because you don't even believe it, Trey. You don't even believe that masks don't do anything. Come on, man.
So I wear a mask
because you believe it does something. Yes.
Because I believe that if I'm going to sneeze or exhale on someone, and in part because of when a private business asks me to, I do. I have no problem at all with a private business saying, if you're gonna walk in here, you need to wear masks.
Okay.
My issue is with the government consistently overstepping its boundaries. And one of the things that I would cite within the Biden executive orders is now it's all about you have to wear the masks in any kind of federal transportation, airports, train stations, etc. And then they also mandated it for Ubers and other rideshare programs.
You're damn right. Makes perfect sense to me. It protects people and listen,
people
Trey,
who make a private contract
are you going
with
to
each
fight,
other.
Brother, are you going to fight against the government mandating you to wear a seatbelt? Are you going to fight against the government for mandating you to follow a speed limit? And Trey, I got 1 minute left, man. I got to say this because I'm a Christian. I assume you're a Christian. You're a Christian?
I am.
Okay, all right. So you asked the question about where does life begin, and you believe it begins at conception. Here's why I believe it begins. If you look at the story of Genesis, when Adam was created, Trey, Adam was not a living soul until something happened to Adam. What happened to Adam in the garden that made him a living soul? What took place? God did something.
Are you talking about Adam and Eve? Are you talking about
when Adam was created? God did something to Adam that made Adam a living soul. What did God do to Adam?
the rib?
Nope. Go
You
back
tell
to your
me.
Bible. Come on, Trey.
Yeah,
Go
man,
back to the Bible.
I'm a recovering Catholic.
God breathed into Adam, and Adam thus became a living soul. Adam did not become a living soul until Adam had a respiratory function. That's when Adam became a living soul. Brother, I just want to leave you with that. All right, just think about it, ponder on it. Trey, how can people follow you on social media, my friend?
At Trey Radel. Just anything Trey Radel, TREYRADEL. I had a pleasure. Some other day, maybe we get more time to get into the philosophical discussion of what life is and how it compares to masks.
Absolutely, man. I will have no problem mopping the floor with you again. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, man, later.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.